From Tricor's perspective, RPA is one technology in a spectrum of automation technologies. It's a key technology that allows us to interact with some of our core systems and very quickly integrate them with the other systems that we need to deliver those services. So the three biggest misconceptions that we found is that 1, RPA is a silver bullet. 2, we already have the skill sets to build on RPA. And 3, that we need to start small and do a small POC to test this product before scaling up. So firstly, many vendors will introduce RPA as a silver bullet. It's not. It needs to work in coordination and collaboration with other technologies to achieve its goal. Certainly it's a very powerful tool, but relying on it solely is going to make things very difficult. Secondly, a number of vendors will tell you that RPA is very easy to use and it can be rolled out to everybody in the organization, and there's no coding, no training required. Certainly, they are easy to use platforms and they're designed to be that way. However, there is still a certain level of training and understanding and expertise needed, and I would still recommend that you do have certain trained professionals in the organization who can do this RPA development. At Tricor, we've built out a centre of excellence, and that's supporting all of our countries through all of their RPA projects. So thirdly, a lot of vendors will tell you that you need to start on a small POC and gain experience. When we looked at the cost of the investment that we were putting in, we realized very quickly that we needed to have bigger goals in mind and make sure that we are going to automate enough to realize the benefit. In order to select the correct RPA solution for you, you need to be identifying where you will be deploying the RPA product. That really comes down to identifying a target that is high volume, high cost and low complexity. That means you'll be able to realize the benefit of that very quickly. Having that in mind, then going through an RFP and an RFI process to get information, and that will allow vendors to actually come into your organization and show you the products. When we were selecting products at Tricor, we had many of the major vendors actually come on site, do a 1-week POC to prove that their products worked in our environment. And we found most vendors are open to that activity. So in order to build out your RPA strategy, there's certainly a number of things you should consider. Very first and foremost is ensuring that you have commitment from the people in your organization, both at a leadership level and from the people who will be benefiting from the automation. We found that many people looked at automation as a helper to them. It's something to help them do their daily jobs, and that was a great way to sell that. You should also make sure that you've got the right skill sets to be able to develop and support these products. Once you introduce RPA to an organization, you'll find that the support for that product and the support for that RPA needs to be ongoing. It's not something that can just be put in and left idle. You'll find that product enhancements and upgrades will possibly cause errors in your robotic process, and those need to be managed. So from our experience, what I would look at doing is, firstly, don't believe the salesman. There is a number, as we've seen, there are a number of misconceptions around what RPA is and what it can do for you, and you need to see it to understand if that will help. Certainly getting the vendors in to do an on-site proof of concept to prove the technology works in your environment and is collaborative with your other products is a great starting point. While you should also be looking to go big very quickly to realize the benefit on your investment, we also found that you should start small on the licensing. Most RPA vendors will try and sell you a lot of licenses, and that will often increase the cost. What I would recommend is start small on the licensing, RPA vendors are always interested to sell you more licenses, but it's very, very difficult to realize a license cost that's underused. Again, making sure that the people in your organization are on board with the program is key to making this a success. Leadership is obviously critical. Additionally, people will need training to understand how to use the technology and how to build robots. There are things you can do. You can obviously do training courses, you can build a center of excellence, which are great things. There are other approaches as well. Sometimes organizations use hackathons, where they have a large group of people address any single challenge and try and build a robot to complete that challenge in a small amount of time. Those kind of things do great for awareness and start to expose where in your organization you will potentially find benefit. So certainly you may find that more than one product is needed to complete your digital transformation. You may have a core RPA product or platform that looks at the majority of things, but you'll also find that other platforms are available and they might need to collaborate. Certainly with Microsoft's Power Platform that's embedded in Office 365, that's a great way to get everyone in the organization access to some level of automation very quickly. And that complements our core platform as well. There's other products that are great as well, so certainly not traditional projects. Another one is some of the Apache Camel products. It's an open source project, but actually it's badged up by a number of vendors, and that's an incredibly powerful piece of technology that can work with a number of different systems and services. So in essence, you'll find that a number of products might integrate together to work collaboratively. On the converse side, you also need to manage costs, because introducing a lot of products and services for RPA into an organization means that potentially you might have multiple licenses. So just being aware of where your total cost of ownership is. When you start out in your RPA journey, the reason I actually recommend doing an RFP and RFI to evaluate these products is once you do invest in one, you will find that the more robots you build on that, they are tied to that platform. So your investment on that platform increases over time. Now, obviously, if you make the incorrect decision at the start, it's much harder to rectify later if there's a financial commitment already been made. So understanding that that product meets your needs at the beginning is critical to keeping going in the right direction.